like to share with you on this week's Parshas, Tetzaveh, something very nice from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok Zatzal. This week's Parshas, we have the mitzvah from the Shmoine Begodim, the big de kahuna, the garments that the Cohen had, the simple Cohen, and also the Cohen Gadol used to wear the 8 garments. It's understood that everything in Torah is exact. We find in 2 of the garments, we have the afod and the choshen, which were tied together. Now, the afod was an apron, but it went in the back from side to side. And it went till the waist. It was an apron till the bottom, from the waist down in the back. And then 2 straps came up, and it was called kisvoisa afod. You should put the 2 straps on your shoulders, and on it was 2 stones, and it had the names of the shvatim, 6 and 6. But here the shvatim were pretty much together, 6 and 6, 2 stones. On the other hand, the choshen was in the front, connected the heart of the Cohen Gadol, and over there you had 12 stones. Each shevet had his specific beautiful stone, his name engraved inside the stone. So explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchok 2 questions. Number, why was the afod in the back? And the stones that you had by the afod, the kisvoisa afod on the shoulders, all the shvatim were together. And by the choshen, it was in the front, and each shevet had his specific stone. It wasn't one shevet together with other shvatim. Explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchok very beautiful and said like this. There's 2 types of avodas Hashem. Even in Hebrew, you have the word ponim, the front, which is lashon rabim, many. And then you have ochor, which means back. So explains Rabbi Levi Yitzchok that there's 2 levels of how a person does avodas Hashem. I'll give you an example. When a person starts off, let's say he wasn't so religious or he wants to become better, the first thing Hashem asks the person is, even though you won't understand everything, you won't have maybe a great feeling for it. And sometimes you're going to have what's called a skafia. You're going to have to break yourself because you don't understand everything, why I'm telling you to do it. Still, no, a person does it with Kabbalah soil. He accepts the yoke of heaven. On that level, when a person just does the ma'aseh hamitzvos, he does the action, but doesn't understand the full meaning of it, that's called p'nimis acharayim. That's the lower level. He didn't really get to the pnimius, really internalizing why Hashem did it. In Hasidic language, that's called p'nimis ochor, which means you're the beginner, a beginner's level. You didn't reach yet to the higher level, which is the more the pnimius. So that's what the afod symbolizes, those Jews that are in the back. And over there, on that level, all the Jews are the same. All the Jews are doing the same mitzvahs. You could have 10 people coming to shul together. Everyone's putting on tefillin. In action, they're all the same. You have 100 women lighting candles together. Same idea, they're all doing the action the same. How much do they understand? That could be many levels, but at least in the action, they're all equal, so they're all together. Then comes the next level, Hashem says. In addition to doing the mitzvahs, I want you also to have a pnimistic relationship to me. And that comes through learning Torah and also developing your heart and having avas Hashem and yiras Hashem. And that was the choshen that was connected liboy from the Cohen Gadol. And that's why over there in the understanding level, in the pnimios, every Jew is different. One Jew understands more and feels more. One Jew understands less. All different types and all different shades and forms. And that's why each shevet has its own stone. But the point is that Aaron HaKohen, who wore both garments, the afod with the stones on top, combining all the Jews together, and also the choshen in the front with separate stones, his job was to nourish every single Jew, whether you're on the level of ochor, which is just a beginner, He'll elevate you slowly by slowly, become closer to Hashem, or you're on the level of the more pnimius. Everyone got their source, and the nourishment, the spiritual nourishment from Aaron HaKohen. And that's why there's a nutshell, the difference between the Ephod was in the back and everyone together, the Choshen was in the front, the Ponim, and each Shevet had its own specific stone.